Hey, how's it going out there? We are live on Patriots Inside the Wire. Check this out. You got Marines, you got Army, you've got everything. Hey, studio alert, songs. Please share, forward this to your friends. Here goes the intro. Join us for the show.
Giving a voice to the voiceless. We share the stories behind our freedoms and the ultimate sacrifice of those who protect us all. This is Patriots Inside the Wire.
Patriot, someone who was willing to give his life for his country and served honorably in Iraq.
Signed our names with no regrets, only wanted to be the best that we could be. And we wanted this and nothing more than to be true down to the core. We thought we'd live forever, but when the full moon is bright and the wind blows just right, I can hear your voice on the wind.
I should have left it. I came back on a perfect day, man. But you know what? It's really more of all these words out here.
21 guns into the night till we meet again on the other side. 21 guns, this is goodbye till we meet again on the other side. Yeah, 21 guns.
Beautiful thing to see the family and friends come together and honor his life and his service to our country.
It's great to see you guys out here. This is awesome, really.
Welcome to the Patriots Inside the Wire broadcast, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step.
Here we are. I'm going to bring them right up for you as we're going right now. You know, we have our great co-host, Mr. John Swat, joining us. He is coming to the stage, and we also have for you tonight United States Marine Corps, Hank the Yank Kellogg. That's a full mouth right there. How are you doing?
I'm good. And yourself, ma'am?
I am doing great. I call it Wednesday Warriors. That makes me feel like it's like, yeah, it feels great, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, it is good to see you. Just to let everyone out there know, the lighting situation is what we got. We got a true cowboy bull riding champion out on the range, and this is the light you get, folks. So this is called real reality TV. This is really TV. That's
Yeah.
Right, Hank? So Hank,
I
we got
reckon so.
SWAT. Yeah, we got SWAT. He'll be right back in. He's been in the studio quite a bit, but Hank, I just want to give a shout out there to everybody right now listening. Please share, like, and follow Patriots Inside the Wire. That way you're not getting hit multiple times with the shows coming, but yet if you're following, and let us know if you'd like to be on the show, go to patriotsinsidethewire.com, and we'd love to have you on. Next week is Hero Stock. We have quite a lot going on there. And when SWAT gets back, our lovely co-host, Mr. John Swat's been in the studio as well. Right now, Hank, let's get to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you, ma'am?
Well, it's funny you said ma'am, but that's a Southern good thing. So I'll let you off with that one. I think I'm doing pretty good. I mean, Ups and downs, but they're all mostly up. So then you can't complain, right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
reckon so.
Well, there he is, and I'm changing that layout.
Hey, John, how are you, mister?
Hey, what's up, buddy?
What? There
Not
he
too
is.
much. Long time no talk.
Hey,
Right?
man, I've been keeping up with you, though. You're rocking and rolling out there, brother.
I'm doing the best I can. Not been much rocking here lately.
Have you
Well,
been on the
it's
bull?
been a.
Have you been
I
on the
have.
bull?
Yeah, I have. I've been going to some practice pens up here in upstate New York, and mostly just sticking to my training. I've kind of had a run of bad luck this year. I started the year off homeless, and then I ended up coming up here to visit family. And my grandmother was in the hospital. A good friend of ours, and he's also related to us. He passed away. He was a World War II Navy veteran by the name of Grover Britton. He was 95. He passed away. My aunt had a severe stroke, and I came up here to be with the family for like 3-4 weeks back in March, and my old pickup truck broke down on me, and it had almost 300,000 on it. So I told my pops, I was like, nah, I don't want to drop the money in it to fix it. I'd rather just go get a new truck. And this one's been good for 7.5 years, so I'll just go get a new truck. That way I ain't got to worry about it later on down the road if I'm out in New Mexico or Oklahoma or somewhere catching a rodeo and break down. So we went and got a new truck, and then shortly after that, I went back down to Texas with a brand new camper and a brand new truck, and got the camper all set up down there. And then I came back up here for a Cody Custer Bullriding clinic that was put on by the Fort Drum Rodeo and Equestrian Club. So shout out to those guys up in Clayton, New York. But came up for that, and then the following weekend had a couple funerals to go to, and then stuck around for a few more days after the funerals, and then headed back to Texas. And my brand new truck broke down in Pennsylvania. The motor blew in it, so I got stranded there for 2 weeks, and then I got a call from my parents saying that I need to get up to the hospital in Utica, New York. My grandmother wasn't going to make it through the weekend, so I scrounged rides until I could get to the hospital, and I was still about 2 hours too late, but she passed on, and she's not suffering anymore, so that's a good thing. She's been battling with a lot of stuff for about 2 years now, and so she passed away May 25th, and then we got my old truck fixed back up a few days after she passed away, and we headed down to Pennsylvania to go get my dress clothes out of my new truck. And lo and behold, God said, nope, you're not going back to Texas just yet. And so I got T-boned by a guy in Hamburg, New York, and totaled out my truck. My father was with me, and nobody was hurt. I got a little bit of a head injury, but nothing major. And so we I think it was about a month after that, the warranty company told us they're not going to fix the new truck, and the dealership, it doesn't want to help us. So I said, well, we'll do a self-repossession on that, and then let's go out and buy a brand new truck. So we went out and bought another brand new truck, and I've got a brand new truck now, and I'm just waiting on an insurance check. And once I get that money in, should be in the bank by next week, I'm going to be beating feet and heading back for Texas. I was supposed to this week, but money still ain't showed up yet. So we're a little light on funds, but should be there by next week. So once we get that insurance money, I'll be heading back down to the Great Lone Star State and get back to training, and be out on the Pale Horse Ranch out in Big Sandy, Texas.
There you go. There you go. Right. Hank,
Yes,
I don't
ma'am.
even know what to say. My mouth kind of dropped. And at first, my faith is what I have to go by. So, number one, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
What a story about your World War II, and then your grandmother, the truck. And Hank, if it weren't your own grandparents, I would be like, my goodness, you're the person that's going to do the song tonight, because this is this is more than, you know what I mean? It's like, it's reality, and it's hard.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's rough,
Yeah.
but I use music as my kind of therapy. What are you doing for yourself to
Uh, I just I've been trying to stay focused, even though I'm up here and I don't have access to the training like facilities and equipment and the rodeos and all that like I do down in Texas. I've just been doing my workouts every day, staying consistent. I've made my workouts a little bit longer. I do my barrel drills on my stationary barrel. I don't have any of my drop barrel or my bucking barrel up here with me.
Oh,
They're both down in Texas, but I've got a stationary
yeah.
barrel. And then on the side, I've had a few people that really like my stationary barrel, and they've asked me to make some of them. So I've made
Oh,
about
wow.
20 of them, and I'm in the process of selling those. And then
Oh,
I've been doing a little, so I've been doing a little bit of woodworking projects, but staying on top of my workouts, staying on top of my drills, and I don't know anybody that checked out my Facebook post from. I think I made the post on Sunday, but I went out to my first official rodeo of the 2024 season on last Saturday in Corning, New York, and I ended up taking third place when the dust settled at the end of the short go round. So I guess all that training and persistence is paying off. So I did pretty all right there, and that was definitely a good little confidence booster for kind of a welcome back into the game. I kind of wish there was some rodeos that I could catch
yeah.
before I head back down to Texas up here, because I love rodeoing up here in my home turf, but there's just nothing on the schedule up here. So
Yeah.
this weekend I'm headed up to Clayton, New York, to the Fort Drum Rodeo and Equestrian Club. They're
Oh,
having
nice.
a how to be a cowboy clinic school type deal thing.
Wow.
They're doing a little series this summer with it, and they are. Oh, hang on, let me get the truck lights back on here.
Yeah, I
There we
told you
go.
this is called the Cowboy Show. We make
Oh
it
yeah.
work.
Yeah, got to get them cab lights back on. But yeah, they're doing a little how to be a cowboy series clinic school thing up there, and they've helped me out quite a bit. So I told them I'd come up and help out and just volunteer my time. I don't know how much use I'm gonna be teaching them how to be a cowboy, other than I guess the toughness part of it, because I've had to be pretty tough these last 6 months. But other than that, I'm going to go up and volunteer some time with them and help them out and help some fellow veterans and whatnot. And then, if everything goes according to plan, God willing, and the creeks don't rise next week, I'm Lone Star State bound.
Okay, Hank,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have every bit of I'm putting you in every prayer I have. But you just said
I
something, and
appreciate
I
that.
knew, what did you just say? The creek doesn't rise? Say that again. Is
Oh,
that
I
a
said,
New York thing or a Texas thing?
I don't know.
Or a Marine?
I don't know. It's just an old school saying I've heard from a lot of old timers, and I kind of just picked it up along the way. It's
Right,
God,
right.
God willing, and the creeks don't rise.
Well, God willing, and the creeks don't rise. I have never heard that one. I know, bless your heart. I know a whole lot of other ones, but I have never heard that. So I will remember that because of you. Now,
Well,
we know that you are the champ too. So 2023, we've got our championship going on, and where was it at, Hank? Was it here in Texas?
yes, ma'am. It was. It was in Wichita Falls, Texas. The Military Rodeo Cowboy Association put the finals on. And Sherman Air Base was our like home base kind of support team, I guess you could say. And so we had our world finals there, and I wasn't the world champion. I was the reserve world champion, so I missed it by 2 points in one bull ride. But hey, you win some, you lose some, and
You,
I'm coming back for it this year.
I think you already won. You got 2023 under your belt, literally.
Yep.
I'm sure. Where is that belt buckle? Where is the true, real? Where's your
Oh,
champion belt buckle?
I got that. I got that back in the camper right now. If I go in there, I'm afraid I'll lose y'all.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
We just are glad you're here, and with everything that's going on too, we wanted to get back to you, but you know that if you can always say to me, hey, production, let's do it whenever. But I'm glad to see you. I think it might be good and refreshing to like connect to people with everything you've
Yeah.
got going on, and this deal with your trucks. I don't know who you're buying your trucks from, but it sounds like a Lemon Buster company.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad deal there for quite a bit. But I'm not going to do business with that dealership ever again. My family had done a lot of business with them, and I'm not trying to like scandalize anybody or throw anybody under the rug, so I won't mention any names or nothing like that. But my family and I both, that was the third truck I'd bought from them, and the first two were absolutely great trucks. This is the only one I ever had a problem with, and so I'm just not gonna. I mean, after the way they treated us with that deal, I won't be back. So I ended up going to shout out to Davidson Auto Group and
There
Davidson
you go.
Chevy in Rome, New York. Oh, and by the way, I did want to mention. If you don't mind me taking a quick second, I'd like to ask anybody that's listening tonight to keep Rome, New York in your prayers. Yesterday afternoon, they had a pretty bad tornado come through, and it took out a lot of the city. And I'm not sure how many people were injured, how many people were killed, but I know at least one person died from what I was told. So it was a pretty bad tornado and a storm, and that's not normal for these parts. So it took them by shock
No.
and surprise. So if everybody could keep them in their prayers. Griffiths Air Base is also out in Rome, New York, and they say I don't know what kind of plane it was, but they have a display plane up by the front gate of Griffiths Air Base, and I guess the tornado freaking actually moved the plane. It picked the plane up and moved it like 20 feet or something like that, from what the pictures show. So, yeah. But
I would like to see that picture. It's interesting. You're talking about unexpected. So unexpected here in Texas is Hurricane Beryl, which
yep,
did a lot of damage, and more than just what you're thinking on TV. But we were working on that. So what you just said was, it wasn't something expected at that time. That's exactly
yeah,
what everyone was saying about the hurricane here, and it's like. So nobody was really prepared as well as they would have been. I'm making sure I can hear you. Nobody was as prepared, but we're all banding together. So we gotta get you back here to Texas and get
yes,
you
ma'am.
riding. And I would love to come see that. So Hank, also you're a Marine. So I was like, we're rolling. You can do this. Like you will be able to find a way. So when did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
join the Marines? Was that just straight out of school?
Yes, ma'am. Straight out of high school.
Yeah.
It was a dream of mine. It was a passion of mine for a long time. I I started really wanting to be a Marine when we started hanging out with some cousins that live right down the road from my parents' place. The the father of the three boys there, David Madison Sr., he served in the Marine Corps as a 0341 mortarman. And then his oldest son, David Jr., served in the Marine Corps as an 0331 machine gunner. And his stepson, Benjamin, served in the Marine Corps as an 0311 infantry rifleman. And his son, Trevor, served in the Marine Corps in the Air Wing. And then I ended up going in the Marine Infantry and just following in
Wow.
their footsteps. And they were a big part of the inspiration that really made me want to become a Marine. And along with that gentleman that I had mentioned earlier, Mr. Grover Britton, the World War II veteran, recipient of 5 Purple Hearts, he that passed away February 11th of 2024. He was kind of a big mentor and inspiration for me to join the military as well.
Wow.
But yeah, I joined straight out of high school, and actually the Marine Corps up here, rodeo's not as prominent as it is down south and out west, and definitely wasn't back in those days. But it's gotten bigger up here, I've noticed in recent years. But I never rodeoed before I went in the Marine Corps, and then when I got down there, I ended up, because of the Marine Corps, I ended up finding rodeo and fell in love with it. And well, here I am 11 years later. So, I
Well,
apologize. I keep slamming this daggone truck door, but the light likes to keep going out on me. So,
yeah, no. I'm just glad that you're here. I'm letting SWAT know right now. So I'm listening, but he's having technical trouble too. So I'm sending him the link again, and they'll pop back in on us. Don't worry. Again, like I said, y'all are all veterans, and you usually figure out exactly how to work everything out. So I am grateful for that. Now, technology is interesting.
Can be
I know
tricky.
that part.
Yep.
Yeah, the part that about technology, I actually do know a lot about technology, but it's one of those deals you don't want to admit. So I'm going to take that back real quick, y'all. I don't know anything, because it's like having a truck. It's like, oh, hey, by the way, and what I do know would be on the studio side. So I've taken apart a computer, though. I can tell you that. It's just that I don't think it's fun. It's just not something that life's short, right, Hank? Life is so short.
Yeah. Yep, it is. I've taken a computer apart I've taken a computer apart at target practice with a rifle at long range, but that's about it.
Yeah, I have not done that. I bet you were very successful at it, though, right?
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That's good therapy. Good therapy right there.
All right, I might have to listen to you on that one. Maybe that's the key. I just need to. I've always joked and said I'll just go to like a Goodwill or a thrift store or something. Go grab a bunch of their plates and stuff, and just go toss them, shoot, whatever you want to do, and just like smash it. So I've always wanted to do that, but I actually haven't done it yet. So eventually I was like, you know what, I want to do that. And hopefully we got SWAT coming in and I'm able to hear you great. So that's great. Everybody listening out there. Yeah, we were having audio issues earlier. Hank, you're coming through fine. I can hear you great. And you're all the way up there in New York. He has been in Texas. And as you see there, bullriding champ, United States Marine Corps. He's in New York. Yeah, the equestrian location that you're going to, though, there are the equestrian areas that are around. There are a lot here in Texas, obviously. They are very veteran friendly. They are amazing. So I have been to one and just watched, veterans that intertwine with a equine therapy program and the benefits of it through a family member of mine watching this was incredible. Now obviously you're riding bulls and you're doing a lot of stuff that not the typical, but just the being around the animals and taking care of them and brushing their hair and you name it. I'm talking about the horses. I definitely I didn't get near a bull.
Most of the bulls are pretty friendly and they let you pet them. I mean, some of them are, they're your typical feral animal, but most bucking bulls, they're pretty friendly. You walk right up, scratch their ears and everything. They like it. They're just like a household pet.
Wow.
Yep.
I don't know that I could do that. We got someone coming to the stage with us right now. It's James Thornton up here with us, Hank. SWAT's trying to log in, but we have James Thornton. How's it going, James?
Good. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we are doing pretty good. That is Hank, the Yank Kellogg above you, United States Marine Corps bull riding champion 2023 in New York, making his way back to Texas.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. What about you, James?
Miss Tracy, can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you, Hank?
Yep, I can hear you good, James.
You're good. You're good.
What's up? What's going on tonight?
Well, we have SWAT that we're waiting to get back on. He's having some technical difficulties. We've been working on some songs. They're coming out of the studio. We've got For the Country we just did with Chris Turner previously. And then we have tonight, if he gets back in here, you'll be able to hear SWAT, and he is going to be doing his studio releases. So we were waiting on him. And while we were doing that, one of my buddies reached out to me. There he is. There he is. One of my buddies there who just literally had my back, y'all. I'm not kidding. If he was on here, he'd say out loud what he had to do. So I'm saying thank you also to this person too. There's a few of you out there that they're all saying thank you for your service. James, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I live in Kentucky, born and raised here.
Right.
After I joined the service, I disappeared from Kentucky for about 30 years. Come back every now and then now I'm back for good. And right now I'm in the process of bringing the largest Vietnam traveling wall in the country to our hometown. Been working on that for about 10 months now, and it'll be here at the end of the month.
I'm going to be close to you. I'll be close to you then. I've got some of my people that are Kentucky, but we're in Tennessee. And so I'll be down your way soon. We have a big concert coming up, Hero Stock. Do you know about that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Are you going to go? It's August 3rd.
We're trying. Well, I can't on the 3rd.
Okay.
I have a big motorcycle ride for a kind of a local gentleman that was killed in Somalia. And that was my first mission that we went on in Somalia. Yeah. So we have it's our 4th annual memorial ride sponsored by the Harley Davidson dealership in Louisville. So
wonderful.
It's kind of a big thing. I have to be there for that one.
You got to be there for that one. We're going to have to catch up on the back channel there, James, because I've got some stuff I'd like to talk to you about. Okay. I don't want anyone right now assuming anything, but my son in the Army, Sergeant Two-Step, that's what he went by, Two-Step, because I taught that boy how to dance. His brothers and sisters in arms told him, nope, it's all about the snake in Vietnam. There's no way we're going to say your mom taught you to two-step. And I'm like, boy, you just better stand up. I don't care who it is. But that's the funny part about that. But yes, I know exactly your area, and your mission that you're talking about is one that I have been looking for, being from Tennessee, being from around your area, and what happened to him fits right in with what you're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
You just tapped into something without even knowing you did it.
I have a habit of doing that, ma'am, to be honest with you. Yeah. I have a habit of doing that. I get myself into all kinds of stuff just by... I started this little ordeal that I'm on. I'm an ambassador for Warrior Rounds, and of course, Warrior Rounds is based out of Nashville.
Yes.
A gentleman by the name of J.T. Cooper started Warrior Rounds in 2018. JT's released, 3 or 4 albums. He had a pretty good following in Nashville. So what we do is we bring what we consider warriors, veterans, combat vets, Gold Star families, cancer survivors, first responders. As you know, in Nashville, not only do they want the new music, but they want the story behind the song.
Yes, I've been saying that.
Yeah, we do that because we video our warriors speaking with accomplished Nashville singer-songwriters. When I went down a year and a half ago, I was hooked up with Bobby E. Boyd. So Bobby Boyd and myself wrote a song together, and he performed it at the Hard Rock Cafe. So, of course, for those that don't know who Mr. Boyd is, he co-wrote Bless the Broken Roads that Rascal Flatts won a Grammy with.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you're talking my language there. Yep. This show has never had a show where there wasn't music and live music to be. SWAT's having some technical difficulties out there. Since Hurricane Beryl here in Texas, it's still not all back to the way it needs to be.
Oh, yeah, and it's going to be a while.
He's been in the studio, and he has a couple of things coming. And I just had Chris Turner, a great friend of mine, For the Country is his song. If y'all have not heard that, Hank, James, For the Country by Chris Turner, right on your Apple playlist. Did you look, add it to your playlist, because these artists, now I work in the digital world as far as marketing and advertising, even before all this started. So what you have to do for an artist to get credit is add it to your playlist. So don't just go in there and listen. I always want anyone out there listening to me. I love my music. Music is medicinal. Please add the artist to your playlist. And there he is. We got him back. James, you're gonna love this. Between Hank, we got SWAT, and we got James. Now this is a panel right here. What's up? How's it going? James is over there beside you, SWAT. You still got Hank up there. Hank and I were talking about going near bulls, and he said that there are bulls that I could go up to, and I'm like, nope, I'm not.
There's plenty of them.
And that's
You ought to see JB Mooney's interview he did not too long ago. He got retired. He retired last year because he broke his neck. I believe it was in Iowa or Idaho. And JB actually went out and bought the bull that wrecked him out and broke his neck and retired him. And he went and bought the bull. And he's like, well, he retired me and I retired him. Now he's a pasture pet. And he's out there just scratching on him in the video, like while they're talking to him and everything. Like it just scratching on him. They're friendly.
Yeah. I learned a long time ago that there's just some things that you shouldn't ride. So I don't buck. I don't want to get on. That's the only bucking that I
do. James, you've got John Swat beside you. Have you met Mr. John Swat, the co-host here?
I have actually been a participant of your audience on several occasions. So yes, I've heard you. Yes, ma'am.
Good. No, we love you, David. David's sending me messages, making sure we talk about warrior rounds. I'm like, I got it. Trust me. I noticed that he put a link here in the comments, and unless that is sent to me as an MP3 or something, I don't want music to go out that's not going to sound good. So I don't want to do that to anybody. So if I get that loaded in, and we might be able to, but it has to go to info@patriotsinsidethewire.com, David. info@patriotsinsidethewire.com. If you can email that to me as an MP3, you got it. YouTube video. It's a YouTube video that we've got. Where on YouTube is that at, James?
Under Warrior Rounds and my last name Thornton. You can find it all over there. I have, let me see. Can you hear that?
I'm a survivor, head's held up high, wounded and left for dead so many times in life. Faith and family kept me on the path. Somehow I'm still standing here, even in the aftermath. Thankful and grateful for the love I've been shown. Deep down, I know I didn't get here on my own. Every life is a mystery. Better for the battles that I fought. Yes, I'm on the road to recovery. Just taking a little longer than I thought. Love is a journey, many twists and turns. Sometimes straight away till we stand on the curves. Sand slips by while we're waiting on our dreams, wondering if happiness got about me. Each day's a new chance to help somebody else. It can't do much good if I keep it to myself. Every life is a mystery. I'm better for the battles that I fought. Yes, I'm on the road to recovery. Just taking a little longer than I thought. Never been one to do things by the book. I know now I need it all the time that it took. Every life is a mystery. Better for the battle that I'm for. Yes, I'm on the road to recovery. Just taking a little longer than I thought. Just taking a little longer than I thought.
Wow. I
That-
have.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's
I literally. That's Bobby Boyd.
that's Grammy Award winning Bobby Boyd. That's correct.
Yes, that is Bobby Boyd, and I wanted to wait. David, I'm loving your messages, so they're great. What I wanted to do is get a web. Thank you, David. Get a website like going on here for you, James. What do we put down here to get a hold of you in regards to? Are you taking on singers right now? Like, are you taking on other
No.
people right now?
No. I'm just an ambassador for Warrior Rounds.
Okay.
Of course, I can get you in contact with the correct people. What got me started was shortly after I did my retreat with Warrior Rounds. And I won't go into big detail, but I was an active participant in Black Hawk Down in Somalia in 1993. I come home from that combat. I buried a child, and I went through my first major divorce in 16 months. So for about the next 28 years, I intentionally tried to drink myself to death. In 2014, I was diagnosed with cancer, acute myeloid leukemia. And I'm not a religious person, but I have faith. And to me, it was like somebody tapped me on the shoulder and was like, hey, I hear you wanted to die, because I attempted suicide in October of 14. So in December, I was diagnosed with cancer. And then we got the cancer in remission, and exactly 11 months later, I relapsed. This type of leukemia, when it comes back mad. So it got to the point where literally my family, I have a headstone in place. And I go up every now and then and see if there's a due date on it. But it almost got me the second time. So I figured that, it was time to do something other than walk around and look at everybody like, what the hell is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why y'all so? Well, it wasn't them, it was me. Of course, putting down almost a fifth of whiskey every night didn't help it.
Yeah.
So I tell people, what got me started, I started going around telling my story.
Yeah.
My story, when I go to organizations and places, I speak anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half. And it costs nobody nothing. I don't charge,
right.
And to me, when I go to bed after a show, the stigma of 22 a day just dropped to 21 a day. And that helps me sleep, because when I leave a show, I'm on empty. Mentally, physically, I'm zero.
Yeah.
And,
well,
so instead of using my mouth in a negative way, I use it in a positive way now.
Well, I am so happy to hear that. I know about the cancer world, James. I am a survivor, and it cut my vocal cord over here. And this is why Tracy is not going to be singing right now at any time until, or if they're like, oh, we can put Botox in that. And I'm like, like, I'm good. Let's not inject me with anything right now, please. But James, what a heck of a story there. I mean, I'm glad to be here with you. Just like Hank had a heck of a story before you got in. I mean, I was like, wow. Talk about the stories between all of us on here tonight. It runs pretty deep, right?
It does.
So one thing we all have in common. We all have in common something, and that's the military. And that's what I call being patriots, kindness, do no harm is kind of my motto. But you said something to me, James, and Hank, you did too. I was paying attention, especially about, World War II, your grandmother, and everything that is going on. We got SWAT coming back to do our music. But James, you and I are going to need to talk more, because I really would love to have you just full on as a guest like we do with Hank here. Hank has become kind of part of the family. I'm adopting you in, Hank.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
You can give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on how you feel about our music too, James. Like, you can come in here, and we got SWAT working on stuff who wants to get us some music going, and we want to see what you think about it.
Okay.
You good for that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Let's do it. Can you hear us, SWAT?
I can hear y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yay.
Yes.
Got it.
Can hear you.
Hopefully my internet won't cut out, but I've got so Hank, this is a new song that I'm working on right now. And James, I hope you guys like it, but this one is actually for the ladies out there, especially the cowgirls like Miss Tracy. So this is going to be my next single. We're going to be releasing it pretty soon. So hopefully you guys like it. And if you do, let me know and I'll send it to you guys. I'll send it to Tracy, and y'all can let me know what y'all think about it.
Yeah, it's your show too.
Heck yeah.
There's something about the way that you smile, like a sunrise on a blue sky, where your hair waves in the wind, like an ocean in slow motion. You got those painted on jeans, you're every cowboy's dream. So take my hand and climb up in the saddle, and let's ride all night. Come a little closer, baby, hold on tight, and don't let go. I've been around enough to know love's like a rodeo. Ain't nothing like you in the whole wide world. There's something about you, cowgirl. It's all in the way that you kiss me. Every time it's like the first time. There's a little bit of thunder in your touch, like lightning striking. You hold the reins to my heart. You've held it right from the start. We'll blaze a trail, just chasing that horizon, and we'll ride all night. Come a little closer, baby, hold on tight. Don't let go. I've been around enough to know love's just like a rodeo. Ain't nothing like you in the whole wide world. There's something about you, cowgirl. Something about you, cowgirl. Let's ride all night. Come a little closer, baby, hold on tight. And don't let it go. I've been around enough to know love's just like a rodeo. Ain't nothing like you in the whole wide world. There's something about you, cowgirl. There's something about you, cowgirl.
Awesome.
Oh man,
That was awesome. I love it.
I love it. I love it. Love it. Here we are back. Here, SWAT. I'm gonna move y'all here. I can't see the top of your head, hun. Lift your screen up some so we can see your head. There you are.
Let me see the head of that guitar, John.
There you go. Looky there.
That's a Taylor right there, my friend. It's a Taylor 615.
Taylor.
Yep. Yeah.
It's got it's just real crisp. It is. It's real crisp.
I love the song, SWAT. David has a message here for us that kicked butt. He didn't say that word. He loved it. And that James, you are a bad, and I'm not going to say the next part. It's a great thing, though. And Hank, they are loving the bull riding mentality Marine champion that we got going on up here, and the new song, SWAT. Thumbs up, more than thumbs up. By the way, he's got a few more out there. For all of those paying attention right now, Patriots Inside the Wire is actually John. It's John SWAT too. So SWAT is always Patriots Inside the Wire on a Wednesday night. He is also the host and with Patriots Inside the Wire. So I got a message here from David, which knows James. So James, how do you know David? We'll tell him who he is in a minute.
How do I know David?
Yes.
I found a Marine bum walking down the street one day and decided to give him a ride, and it just happened to be David.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. That's what he said.
I think I met David about a year ago and was on his podcast about the time I got started telling my story.
Wow.
And it's just blown into a very good friendship. I very much respect and love that dude.
You know, that dude, so that dude is David right here. I'm going to put his comment back up here for you. No, that's not the one we want. We want this one from David. David, SWAT, you rock. You can catch John SWAT on Veteran Voice Radio. But guess where else you can catch him? Patriots Inside the Wire every Wednesday night. No telling what he's going to rock in the house. Brand new. Just got out of the studio. Red Dirt Radio. You got to make sure people go listen to Red Dirt Radio. You got to go to your playlist for your musicians. That is a big thing in my heart. The other part is what Hank touched on. Anything to do with the rodeos, the animals. Just very, very therapeutic in my life. James, you've already mentioned the other part of me that, I haven't gotten into, and I won't do it all tonight. But the one thing I think SWAT knows this is that, I haven't done a thing to memorialize for my son, two-step. So we're working on Patriot Fest, which is a collaborated effort of Gold Star Families, and it's Gold Star Family Foundation, Fallen Heroes National Foundation, Patriots Inside the Wire, and a call out to others who want to be involved. And that is going to involve Texas and Tennessee. So Texas, I go back and forth. So I will be... Yeah, SWAT's got us covered. Like, we've got radio, we've got all that we need, except we want to get y'all all out here, get Hank back to Texas for sure, and get him in.
Yeah, I need to get back to Texas.
Yeah, you do. Hank, can I ask you a question while we've got James and John here sitting here too? Can you?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you get back to Texas, or are you looking for a ride back to Texas?
I have, well, like I said, after all my truck problems and everything else, I'm like, basically when you boil it all down, like realistically, I'm on truck number 4 for the year. But, I've got a truck and whatnot. I'm just waiting on, like I said, I'm waiting on that insurance check from the last truck when it got, when I got T-boned out there in Hamburg, New York with my dad in the truck, and the insurance company totaled it out. So I'm just waiting on the remainder of the money from the insurance check so that I can actually afford to get my butt back to Texas. So But I also didn't anticipate being stranded up here, and also, didn't anticipate having to spend 2 weeks in a hotel in Clearview, Pennsylvania, which just about drained every bit of money I had. And, but yeah, so that was and thank God for my friends that did give me rides and whatnot, and got me to Utica to at least be with my family. I know I was too late to see Grandma before she passed by 2 hours actually, but thank God for all my friends, and a huge thank you to them, and a thank you to actually one of my buddies that I served with in Charlie Company, 1st Battalion, 2nd Marines. His name's Dan Munn, so I'll give him a shout out. He's out in Ohio. I can't remember where, but he drove like 4 freaking hours from Ohio to PA when I told him what happened. And originally we thought it was just a water pump. And so he literally drove around his hometown all morning on a Sunday to find the parts, buy the parts. And then he drove out to Clearview, Pennsylvania, where I was at, and we tried. Like, he's a mechanic now, and he tried to fix my truck, but he's like, man, he's like, you need way more than what I got here. He's like, I can't do it. He's like, I'm sorry, I wish I could, but we did get to catch up and see each other, which was really nice. But that right there, I mean, that's brotherhood if anything else. But
what I was about to say. That's why we call them brothers.
Yes, absolutely. That man, I mean, I ain't seen him like since I got out of the Marines, and we've talked maybe 2 times since we both got out, and I don't even remember really how we ended up getting in touch that day. And I don't really know how it was happening. I guess it was God, but he dropped everything and just came right out there. So a huge shout out to Dan Munn. Love you, brother. God bless you, man. Thank you for helping me.
Yes, I love it.
And to build on what you just said, Hank, we just had a 30th anniversary party last part of September last year. A lot of the guys, when they showed up, we hadn't seen each other in 30 years. And after the hugging and the crying, then it was like, dude, I ain't seen you since yesterday. 30 years didn't stand in the way. We all got older, a little fatter, but
a little slower.
A lot slower.
You know what I just did? I just put you Marines up there, and there's Army are on the bottom.
No, I'm Army.
Oh,
I'm Army.
Well, look, I'm the Gold Star mom, so I'll be up there with Hank. There you go.
I'm the lone jarhead up here.
No, I'll sit with you. I'm the Gold Star, so trust me.
You got David making comments, so.
Yeah, he's between my phone and over here. I'm loving it. It's hilarious. It's one of those just real, what I call real people, real stories. And ironically, you said something, James, and this is what there's SWAT and and there's a company, production company, but this side of it, Patriots Inside the Wire with SWAT and we say that it's songs and stories. So that's what keeps therapy. It is medicinal for me. You touched on a few things there that I think we're going to be able to do a whole show, James, where I would love to just know more about everything you're doing and where you're at. I haven't done a show where I've talked about the whole cancer deal and what happened and why I don't have my voice right now, but I can relate to a lot of the things you said. But I put myself up here with Hank because as a Gold Star mom whose son was serving, didn't come home, I do kind of get, not just me, we kind of get put off in this area where it's like, well, wait a minute, where do we go? Like, do we go to the reunions? Are we allowed to be back around? There's some of us that really want to. And there's some that don't. But you know what? I'm one of those that I do. And so, having SWAT and his family, I've got them. But always being able to connect to each one of you like this. What I've seen happen with a Gold Star mom or dad, I'm not kidding, and a sibling is amazing. So you put them back around that group, and it's like somebody just welcomed you back in. It may not be my son, but it's like, thank you, thank you, thank you all. Thank you for your service. Thank you for including us, because we don't know where to go when this happens. James, you touched on something. Was it military for you? You talked about your child. You don't have to get into detail. I'm just curious if they went into the military.
No. She was 5 months old.
Well, my heart, my prayers go to you. I'll tell you something right here that I don't tell people. Before Adam's little brother Cash, who's 15 now, he's named Cash for a reason. Keep that in mind. I did lose two babies, and nobody's heard that out of me yet. So I'm saying that to you because I know that part of my heart, and then I know about losing my son older, and it hurts no matter what. It is a life-changing, unbelievable blow. But when you fight and come back now, James, we're unique because you had that happen in cancer, and I had the same thing going on. Boom, boom. And I'm like, oh man, what's the saying? God gives you no more than you can handle. I was looking up and going, God, wait a minute. I don't know if I can handle this much. Are we at that point? My plate's kind of full.
Yeah, I really don't think I'm as big as badass as what he thinks I am, because you know, there for a while it got pretty rough, and I was brought up in a semi-strict Southern Baptist family. So I knew the right way. I knew what was wrong based on their religion, and it was rough. It was rough. When Bobby Boyd and I met, one of the things we talked about is, and I think it's even in our video, and I tell us when I go out and I do my talks, I tell folks, I said, if you've never had a reality check of life, if you ever have to bury a child for any reason, you'll have one then. Because as a young man, my entire life, every time I had a problem, there was one go-to, and that was mama. Now, I wish I'd listened to my mama more than I did.
Don't we all?
Yes. So the only time that I ever went to my mother and she did not have an answer was when my daughter passed away. That was
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I say out there, James, is I try to tell people, I say, you know what, if you want to ask me questions, if you want me to go there, I'll do it. There's a lot of us that can't. There's a lot of them. I get the calls, and you know what, I will still do it. So anybody out there listening, connect to us, because I want us to connect back to all of our, Patriots Inside the Wire is not just our veterans. It is our patriots. It is our military. It is our police force, our fire, space force. We got a lot going on that we need to build us all up and get us all back. That puzzle piece that's missing, we got to put that puzzle back together. So
I'm supposed to go to New Mexico in March or April of next year. They do the Baton Death March out there.
Yeah.
And so I got a buddy that lives in East Texas and somewhere down around Tyler. I'm going to slide in there, spend 3 or 4 days with him, rest up, then going out to New Mexico. They're supposed to have me at some really, really big show. I was contacted by a retired colonel from the Army. Oh. And they want me out there. So, I'm going to go run my mouth through New Mexico.
You're going to be near me. You mentioned a couple of locations, and you're actually going to be near me on one of those. Pretty like close. So close that I could run down and see you down the road, or you're always welcome here at my place. So whether I'm in Texas or Tennessee, it stands for each one of you right here on this screen. And then we get Patriot Fest rolling. I'm already telling David, like, So we're marketing right now so SWAT. Our every show next week is for Hero Stock. We have multiple musicians coming. Chris Turner was just on with For the Country. If y'all have not listened to that, and like I say, add it to your playlist. We need to just like record me because I say it all the time. But if anybody's listening, and tomorrow this will be a podcast, it won't be visual. It will stick around. But what I mean is we go out on the air. So we want you to know that by going and putting that on a playlist, and I hear, hey, how do I support my veterans? Well, wait a minute. I got one easy way. That is get their music and add it to a playlist, number one. Number two, there are a lot of shows or events. Hank might be riding a bull somewhere. We've got Patriot Fest. Imagine that. That's what I see. I see Patriot Fest being a circle of true companies. Tree of Valor, she was just in here. I mean, amazing organizations. We've got Fallen Heroes National Foundation, which stands for every bit of that, James. So we want you to be involved with Patriot Fest as well.
Well, I think that sounds awesome. And you guys, I'm going to apologize. I just got home when David sent me that message. I've been out collecting donations all day.
Okay.
And I'm just trying to shove a little bit of pizza down my throat. So I apologize.
No, James, I will be in touch, and you and I are going to schedule a show, and we will get you on. It's been great to see you. Thank you so much.
I absolutely 110% appreciate you guys, and I support you 100%.
Well, we are so grateful. Thank you so much. Again, James, I'm going to make sure that we are in touch. We are grateful for you. You and I have quite a bit in common, ironically, so I look forward to talking to you.
Likewise, very much so.
All right. Thanks, hon.
All right, y'all take care.
You got it. You got
Have a
it.
good one, James.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
God bless.
You're on my list there. Hank, your truck light is working really well. So you're laughing
Yeah,
at me,
as you say that, it turns off. You see.
Okay, well, I won't say it again, but the screen's moving around. I really was trying not to put us all like that. There we go. So SWAT, what is up, dude? I know you were in that studio. I want to know. I can't wait to know. Like, what do we got out?
Well, that song I just played for you guys is a little teaser. That's going to be my next single. And Hank, ironically enough, we have a lot more in common than you realize, my friend. I grew up around rodeo. I actually wrote that song kind of in honor of my mom and my sister. They're both rodeo cowgirls.
Yeah.
They don't do it as much anymore, but they used to compete in barrel racing. And ironically enough, you may or may not have heard of South Texas Tack. It's right there in Brenham. I actually worked for that company.
Brenham, Texas? Yeah, I know where Brenham's at.
Yeah, well,
that's where he works.
I'll let you know, anytime you're down there, Hank, we would love to have you in. Of course, I work there, and
Heck yeah.
Very well. We would love to have you in, man, and maybe I could hook you up with some stuff, my friend. But
heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we're big supporters of all the rodeo, contestants. We have a lot of friends of ours that are in the rodeo, actually, especially down here, of course, in Brenham and Belleville. I know Shane Hanshy very well. He's a calf roper, but a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
And we're so blessed. That's the one thing, Tracy, I will say, and Hank knows this, and I think I might have said this last time, but the rodeo community, it's so similar to the military in the fact that they're a family, and even though they're competing with each other, all the contestants, they really do look out for each other. They really are a family, and Hank, you can elaborate on this better than I can, but really, I mean, y'all look out for each other kind of like brothers, even though you have that competition, kind of like we do in the military.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In the long run, we all, come together and we're all a family.
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It is. I've met some amazing people because of rodeo, and I mean, I didn't ever grow up around rodeo. I grew up watching rodeo. Oddly enough, with my grandmother, who just passed away back in May. she used to barrel race way back in her day, and she loved horses. And so I grew up around that, and I used to watch the rodeo on TV, and I always used to say, I want to be a bull rider someday. I want to be a bull rider. And everybody, my grandmother's like, no, you can't do that. And then I went in the Marines, and I ended up finding rodeo down in North Carolina when I was stationed at Camp Lejeune, and lo and behold, here I am over 11 years later. April was 11 years since I got on my first bull. And so, yeah, it's been a wild ride, and I've met some wonderful people, some really amazing folks. And I mean, really, I mean, my own, like, I give a shout out to Mr. Joe Wimberly. He's a 5-time NFR qualifier, lives right there in Cool, Texas. And, I used to live in Mineral Wells, which a lot of my stuff is still in Mineral Wells. Technically, I'm in the process of moving out to East Texas, to Big Sandy, Texas, just north of Tyler. But Joe there, I've known Joe since November of 2019 is when I met him. We actually worked on the same ranch back when I was still a ranch hand, and Joe and I hit it off instantly. And he's the closest thing to a dad that I have down in Texas. Nothing against my father. I love my father to death. He's still alive. He's still here with us. Thank God. But, like, my dad's, he's not physically there with me when I'm out traveling and everything, but Joe's always been right down the road for the last 4 or 5 years. And he's just been an amazing person. I mean, really, when it was like, what was it? 2 years ago when my ex left me, I mean, her and I had a house together and everything. And when she left, I got kicked out of the house and told too bad. And I was homeless. Joe took me in. He's like, I got a bed for you. You ain't got to pay me nothing. And he didn't want my money. He wouldn't take my money, nothing. He just let me stay there until I got back on. I could get on my feet and get my own place. And it took me about a month, 2 months. And, I found my own place and got moved off his place and whatnot. And so, but he's been there for me through thick and thin, and he's been just an absolute, a godsend, really. And I mean, he's my bull riding coach too. So he's taught me a lot too. So I benefit there, and I try to help him as much as I can, but I don't think I'll ever be able to repay what he's done for me. So, but yeah,
Hank, he's here in
I
Texas,
definitely
right?
understand that.
He's
Yes,
here in
ma'am, he is.
Texas.
He's out of, yep, he's out of Cool, Texas. He's
You got
actually,
it.
if anybody goes to the Fort Worth Coliseum, Cowtown Coliseum, his picture's up on the wall. He's in the Texas Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Oh.
Yep.
Well.
Yep. He's one of the greats.
Yes, he
Squat's looking at
is.
me like, Tracy, yeah, he's definitely somebody you better know.
Oh yeah. Yep. And even still, he raised a great too. I mean, his oldest son, McKinnon Wimberly, there, 3-time PBR top 15 world finalist. And man, I've been to a couple of McKinnon's bull riding schools, and he's and I've seen McKinnon ride in person, and he can strap it on one. He's a heck of a dude too. He's a good man. And he takes after his daddy. He's a damn good man
I know
too.
who you're
Both of them
talking
are.
about there. Yeah, I know. I knew as soon as you said that name, I went, I know who you're talking about. So
yep,
I would, yep, definitely would. So I was telling, it was James that popped in from Warrior Rounds. We were glad to see him. But I was saying that, with the rodeos, we have been endorsed this show. It's called Go Texan. So if you're in Texas and there's like small business, or you have look at this. We have Patriots Inside the Wire, where we're constantly giving the information and where the people are, and we want to share everything that's going on, especially with those that are our small business owners, veterans, not just military. So I want to make sure everybody understands that. We're talking about our Patriots. That's why it's called Patriots Inside the Wire. And we're happy. I mean, we got certified with them. And, recently that person that certified us I got a story on a back channel, SWAT. I need to talk to you. I did get a phone call very late, everyone. That individual was sitting in the front. And I won't go much further into details, but I'll tell you that he's doing great and everybody's doing good. So the person that endorses our show does a lot with the rodeos. So as far as rodeos, that's his thing, literally. Like his job is making sure he'll be at the stockyards, Fort Worth stockyards, and in Houston in not too long. Do you plan to go to any of these rodeos, SWAT?
Oh yeah, that's our bread and butter. I mean,
Yeah.
like saying, Tracy and Hank, this. I grew up around rodeo. I will say this. I say going to a rodeo is better than going to any club any night of the week.
Yeah.
Amen.
It's the best place to be. And I mean, just when you're surrounded by the people that are there for the right reasons, it's so cool. And, of course, being down here in the Houston area, of course, we have the Houston Livestock Show Rodeo, which is one of the biggest rodeos in the world.
Yeah.
But it's just the people. It's just, the atmosphere. And every chance I get, I joke around. When I was up in Nashville, of course, right with all my friends, I think that I've been to probably more rodeos than all those people combined. I've probably been to over 1,000 of them. And when it comes to people like Hank, I'm a rookie. But when it comes to a lot of other people, I'm a veteran. So it just depends. But,
like Tracy.
Yeah, but
actually.
The good thing about rodeo people, and Hank, you know this, there's a lot of veterans there. There's a lot of ex-military, and if they're not, they're very, very big supporters of the military and the veterans.
Right.
The chance they have, they reach out to them. They put on, all kinds of events for them, and they always reach out and honor the veterans. And that's one thing I love about them because, Hank, you know this better than anybody. Veterans and, rodeo cowboys have a lot in common, interestingly enough. It's
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I would be there for a different reason, but I love the music. I love all of it, the writing, not because of being a cowgirl, but I am, but in not a way of, not like, I can't believe I almost messed this up. Yellowstone. So a lot of people in their heads are thinking Yellowstone. This is not Yellowstone. This is what Hank is not that guy. That's the young guy in Yellowstone that gets hurt really bad. I don't even know. I don't even know their names, but
I think you're talking about Jimmy. You're talking about Jimmy.
You go.
Yeah.
They're looking and going, hey, wait, that's like Jimmy. And then SWAT's talking, and I know what they're thinking. They're like, oh, the dude that always has his guitar on Yellowstone. So it's funny. When I bring up the rodeo, I have to make sure that I say, news, Hank. So SWAT, we do have an offer to set up as Go Texan, as the show down there where you're at, and you're already going to be there. So I really need to, let's talk about that later and figure it out, because that's my cup of tea. So you said it best, Hank and SWAT. One of you said a different way. One said a club and the other one said, yeah, more than going out or something. And I'm like, yeah, because I don't do either of those two things, but I will definitely go to a rodeo to see good music and eat. Like there are three, and obviously my faith is always with me. I don't have to go somewhere for that, but for me, you already hit the four big things right there. So family, faith, I pretty much stop after that because I don't go out or do any of that. Maybe I'm boring, I don't know, or I don't know what it is. But horses, talk about that. So Hank, here's my experience. Ma'am. When you grow up like I did, and literally there weren't people, and you didn't have a lot at all. I'm not going to get into all of it. The one thing that there was a horse. And because the adults were doing things they shouldn't have been doing, and there's no telling where the kids were, I decided, oh, hey, I'm like 10 or 11. I'm like, I see a horse, and I just go jump on that horse. And I'm just riding all around and like through the woods, you name it. And then literally after, I don't know how long I'd been out with this horse, comes back in and gets near like the crowd because, you know, it was louder. It's getting later. Knocked me back right off of the horse. So that was my first experience. But I've always been around nature, the animals, and pretty much like living outside. And so me just jumping on the horse thinking, hey, this is no big deal. I'm just going to get on. Like, you don't need anything else. Just do it. And I definitely realized at that point, okay, Tracy, as you get older, you may want to have some things before you go jump on a horse.
Yeah, a few things helps.
It would have probably helped me, but hey, it taught me a lesson. Did I get back on that horse? Do you think I did or not?
I'd say yeah. I'd
back.
say yeah.
Yay! Yes,
You always get
I got
back on
that horse. You get back on it. Yep, I
There
did.
you go.
There you go. And
You got
SWAT, I do
cowgirl
know.
up.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh,
You
there's a
got
song.
cowgirl up.
You got some more songs for us. You got one there, SWAT. Cowgirl up. Actually, that'd be pretty good. I like it. I like yours tonight, SWAT. That was amazing. I loved it. Cowgirl up. I'm gonna start using that as my hashtag. You need cowgirl up.
I think there's already a song. I can't remember. I'm trying to think, but I think there's already a song that says "Cowboy Up." I
There's
think
always
there
a
is
lot
a
of
song.
cowboys.
Yeah, I think there's a song called "Cowboy," or it mentions "Cowboy Up" or something like that. I can't remember. Can't remember exactly. I'd have to go back through and listen to my rodeo playlist because I got like a whole specific playlist that I listen to when I'm going down the roads, or going down the road to the rodeos. It kind of gets me just fired up and amped up, and it just gets me in the right frame of mind, kind of thing. Because it's all like, yeah, there's a lot of physical like aspect to it, but it's pretty much like 95% mental game riding bulls. It's you gotta get this thing right, because if it ain't in the right place, you ain't gonna do nothing, you know.
So, Hank, I have a question for you real quick. And
Yes, sir.
Not a specific question, but so what is kind of your process? Like you said, you listen to music, you know, maybe you kind of, I don't know, some guys giving themselves a pep talk. When right before you're about to get on that bull, right before you do a ride, what's kind of your process for you right before you're about to make your ride? Because, you know, most people, they hear about, 8 seconds, and you think 8 seconds isn't really that long. But I tell you what, when you're climbing
It's
on
a
the back,
freaking lifetime.
like you said, on the back of a 1,500-pound animal who is just going cray-cray, I mean, so you have to kind of mentally prepare yourself. Kind of, if you don't mind me asking, what is your way of kind of mentally preparing yourself for getting on that? Because I couldn't do it.
So I mean, aside from listening, you know, to my rodeo playlist when I'm getting down the road, which it's for the most part, I've got songs that one of my mentors sent me. It's called No Mercy. So shout out to Mr. Greg Robinson for that one. Thank you, Greg. I love that song. It helps me out a lot. But it's called No Mercy. And so it's kind of like an upbeat, really up tempo song, and it just kind of, you know, gets the blood going. And then majority of them are kind of like that. Some are country songs and whatnot. Some are not country songs. Some are rock. It's no specific genre, I guess you could say. But I like to listen to just about everything. But so other than that, like getting to the rodeo, usually I'm there 2 to 3 hours ahead of time, unless something happens I'm running late. But on a normal rodeo day, I'm getting there 2 to 3 hours ahead of time, and I'm going. I've got a workout routine, like just a warm up routine that I like to do, usually about an hour to an hour and a half before I know I'm gonna ride. If I know I'm gonna ride within an hour to an hour and a half, and so I have my little workout routine, and I like to focus a lot on my breathing. I've learned to kind of do the whole in out thing, like breathe in through the nose and in your head. In my head, I say in, And then when I exhale out through my mouth, I say out, and I just kind of focus on that. And it just brings me back down from all the amped up crap going on all over. And it just kind of settles me down a little bit and really helps me just focus on one thing at a time, which is very important. And so, and then other than that, when there's like probably like 3 to 4 guys ahead of me, as far as like 3 to 4 more guys, like they're going out, and then it's going to be my turn to ride. One of my little cheat codes that I come up with is I take a about and I know this is I'm not recommending this to anybody, because as far as health goes, it's probably not the safest thing to do. It's definitely not the healthiest thing to do, but I take about 2 scoops of pre-workout and I mix them in about that much water, and I shake the crap out of that stuff, and I just pound it right there, and everybody thinks I'm taking a great big old shot of whiskey, because my face when I'm done, it don't, like, when it's that strong and it's that potent, it really don't taste good. But by the time they get done, those 3-4 riders get done, and I get done with my whole shoot procedure, settling down in, and I'm about ready to nod my head, I can really feel the buzzing and the tingly feeling from the pre-workout, and it really gets me amped and just wired. And so that really just enhances my focus and what I'm doing. And so other than that, I focus, and I kind of go through my breathing exercise while I'm in the shoot, heating up my rosin, taking my wrap, making sure my shaps are where I want them, and, putting my feet in the right spot, getting my knees in their shoulder, all the way up to the point until I nod. And then when I nod my head, like, and that gate kind of opens, it all kind of just hits me like boom, just like that. And that's when I'm hyper focused right there. So that's kind of my procedure in a nutshell for the most part. I mean, there's a lot more to it. Like, I could really go into specifics, but we'd be here all night talking about that, and nobody wants to hear all that crap. So,
No, he says he does the same thing through his shows, but his warm-up is a tall glass of brown liquid courage. And that is Mr. James Thornton's advice. Now, I have a question. Hey, James, I know what you're talking about, but Hank, what the heck is a pre-workout powder? Like, what are you talking about?
So basically, like, they have, so one of my sponsors, Bucked Up, is the name of it. It's called Bucked Up. They make pre-workout powders, vitamins, supplements, protein powders, all sorts of stuff like that. They make the pre-workout that I use. But so shout out to Bucked Up. And if anybody goes to my social media profiles, you can find my personal link to buckedup.com, and you can use my discount code and get you some great savings on their stuff, and help support me as well. But so a pre-workout powder is basically like it's like more like it's more potent than an energy drink. No, it's not a protein. It's something you take before you go to work out, like 15 to 30. They say like 15 to 30 minutes before you go to work out, because it's a stimulant. Energy. Yeah, it's like a 5-hour energy, only it lasts longer, and it doesn't give you that, like, or at least for me, it doesn't give me that like just that burnout feeling at the end, like when it wears off and it lasts through your workout. And so it really just kind of like opens up your veins and blood vessels and all that stuff, gets the blood pumping, and just gets your heart rate going, and kind of gets you just amped up is what it does. And it's meant to be taken like before you work out. But I mean, bull riding in itself, like the act of getting on a bull and trying to make it to that 8-second buzzer, that's a workout in itself. It's a full body workout. So I mean, what a better thing to use than pre-workout? I just use 2 scoops of it, and the max dose recommended is 1 scoop within a 24-hour period with no other forms of caffeine whatsoever in your system for the entire day. So me taking 2 scoops and on top of the 5 cups of coffee I drank that morning, probably not the healthiest, and I am not recommending this to anybody. So everybody
Neither are we.
Yeah, I don't recommend it to anybody. I'm just saying it works for me, and I am definitely telling you it's probably not that healthy for my kidneys, but I know for me, myself, and I drink like 15 friggin' bottles of water a day. So I definitely flush out those kidneys, and I drink cranberry juice every day because I've had kidney stones before, and it is not fun. So
no, I've heard that it's not as bad as having kids, but I've heard it's bad, and I don't want one. I don't.
I got told by a nurse. I actually got told by a nurse in the Dallas ER. She's like, "Oh my God, I'd rather give birth again than have kidney stones." That poor boy. And that was back in October of 2019 when that happened, and so
you'd have a lot of mamas right now. They're gonna be screaming at me.
I don't know, but I had a nurse tell me that in the ER. So I guess I don't know. I guess it all depends on everybody's point of view is different, but
and every delivery is different, so you never know. Like
this is true.
I can tell
this is true.
My son, the fighter, 2-step, who's here with me like this. That was the most difficult, rough, painful you can imagine, and then he ended up being my fighter scrapper. And then from there, it was easier. But man, I'll never forget it. Like that one was rough. So. And then I've been around people that like had a kidney stone, my daughter, and I literally was like, "Oh, you're okay, tough love, like, get up." And then finally I'm like, well, maybe I should take her to the hospital because she'd been laying there for a while. She's still school age. And I was like, but high school, right? So I was like, I was old school, like, no, we're gonna chill here. But we ended up at the emergency room and it was kidney stones. And I just remember her looking at me and going, "Mom, I told you it hurt." I was like, I am sorry. I am used to hearing, that it hurts, but I didn't realize it was a kidney stone sort of situation. So I do know that those can be bad. It looks like we lost Swat from his internet. What I got for us.
Give me just a second, Tracy. I've got to go get a charger because otherwise you're going to lose me too. My phone's dropping down to like 5%.
You got it. We've got a song here from one's a veteran and one is a veteran's daughter. And she stands on her own though. I'll tell you that right now. So she can do the Star Spangled Banner. And her name is Bree Steiner, Hank. So I want you to check this out without me saying so you don't know who she is or anything, right? So I'm just gonna play it, and I want to see what you think about this. What just came in? So it's one of those things like my son plays and does things, but I want everybody to take a look at this Star Spangled Banner by Bree before you tell you exactly who she is. Let's check it out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the
There you have it. Let me get back to that because it's going to keep playing for us. But that is, here she is. Here we go. Where are you at there, Hank? So Hank's grabbing his charger. I want to close out with this, everyone. This is what I'd like to do. You just listened to Bree. She is with a band, which is Anyone Else. Check out Anyone Else. Hank is coming back. And yeah, there you go. James heard it. James heard it right there. He knows what I'm talking about. I'm about to say who it is. So we've got Hank right here. Hank,
Yeah,
you were able to hear that song. Did you hear it?
Yes,
Were
I
you able
did.
to hear
I caught a good part of it.
Good.
I didn't get to hear all of it because my phone kind of got stupid there on me, and I was trying to find an extension cord that I can hook up and
you're
run
all
out here
good.
to
We're
the
nearing
truck
the
so I
end
can
here.
stay with y'all.
No, you're nearing the end. We are all good here. That was Bree Steiner. She is singing the Star Spangled Banner, and she is the daughter of the gentleman putting together Hero Stock. So Hero Stock, the concert that's going around with the different veterans. And a lot of those on that flyer for Hero Stock are actually friends of mine. So I had Chris Turner on, my goodness, Monday. We'll have Doc. He's out in Tennessee. He'll be on Monday. But next Wednesday, we have a couple of people coming for you. So we've got a few people coming in that are playing at Hero Stock. But that is actually Steiner's daughter. Her name is Bree Steiner, and she's with a band called Anyone Else. So, yeah, they've got a page. Y'all can all check it out. I know they've got a page on Facebook. I haven't asked about a website, but she's actually going to sing in with Hero Stock. So, when he sent me that MP3, I was like, yeah, definitely. I will definitely play that. Like, I'd be honored to. So, shout out to Bree Steiner, Jason Steiner. Be proud of your daughter. Nothing else comes first unless it's me with my faith. But taking care of family, and sometimes that family isn't blood. So, like you, Hank, like I had a lot of people go. So my family ends up becoming the people that I'm surrounded by, and just like you, Hank. So I consider you part of a home base here, and I just appreciate you, and I can't wait to actually see you in person here in Texas, or if you make it to Tennessee.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Whichever place you get to first, you let me know, and I'll make sure that I get to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well,
Yes,
let's
ma'am,
close
for
out the
sure.
show. I could just give them our closing out. Do you have any words you want to give before I close it out here, Hank?
I just want to, real quick, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of my sponsors that have really, they've really stepped up and whatnot, especially Mountain Man Brands, the Rocky Mountain Girls Hemp Products, Resilient Brands, 22 Rations. I know, I've got a whole bunch of sponsors and whatnot, but those ones right there, they really stepped up this year, and they really played a big role in, me being able to make it through and whatnot. And I mean, all my sponsors did, and I really, really want all my sponsors to know how much I really appreciate them for sticking with me through the last 6.5 months. I know it's been rough, and it's been a dry spell, and I know I really haven't been doing my job as a sponsored athlete here lately, just because of situations in life and everything. But I just want to say that I really appreciate y'all sticking by my side and not just sending me off and feeding me to the wolves, and me coming back to nothing. I'm coming back to everything I had at the beginning of the year for the most part, so really didn't lose any ground there. But I just want to say thank you for that to all my sponsors. I really appreciate that. And a huge shout out to all my family and my friends who supported me and who've been there for me, and especially all my friends that called and checked on me or texted or made sure I was good. All my buddies down in Texas that that did. And, honestly, I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but a thank you to all the people that I thought were my friends that didn't call and check on me. Cause you know what? I learned who my real friends were these last 6.5 months, and that in itself is a blessing and a godsend. So you know what? I know for a fact who has my back and who's in my corner now. And to y'all that are, I just want to say thank you. I love y'all, and God bless y'all. Y'all have been wonderful. Y'all are amazing, and I love y'all to death. So I
Well,
can't thank you
Hank,
enough.
I hope you
But
include us in that list because we consider
absolutely,
you a part of the family
absolutely,
here. And so, if any of your sponsors want to come on the show, come talk to us. We'll be happy to push that out there and put their name out. And that means sponsoring you and helping you. So, all we got to do is get in touch with production or go to the website there. And when they just fill out the form, you go straight to the
absolutely,
show. So you can give
absolutely.
them our information. You can give my phone number if it's someone you actually know that well.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah, go
I would
ahead and do
love to
it.
have. I would love to see y'all interview the lady that runs the Fort Drum Rodeo and Equestrian Club. I know it would really help them out a lot. So
Okay.
they just started that club last summer, so it's a real new it's a really new thing, and it's pretty awesome, and they're doing it for mostly for the Fort Drum area, but it's for all of New York and any veterans, first responders and whatnot, that just you get a lot of guys from out west and from down south that end up getting stationed up here in Fort Drum, and they're used to the cowboy scene, the Western lifestyle, and there's not a whole heck of
Right.
a lot of that up here. There's some of it, but not much. And this is kind of the club is meant to be a place for them to kind of come and hang out with like-minded folks and just kind of
Yeah.
unwind when they're off base and all that, and they're on their free time kind of thing, and just relax and de-stress and stuff like that. And it's honestly, I mean, it's something I think is really cool, and I wish was something that was available when I lived up here, because Lord only knows how much farther in my rodeo career I'd be had they been up here. But you know what? I'm glad I've met them now, and that I've become really good friends with them, and that I've become a member of the club as well. I'm
That's
really, really
nice.
glad.
Yeah.
I'll be going this year to the PAFRA World Finals in September out in
Oh,
Clovis, New
wow.
Mexico, as a proud representative of the Fort Drum Rodeo Club, or Rodeo and Equestrian Club's
Okay.
official rodeo team that they send to the World Finals. So I'm
You
I'm
got
pretty
it.
proud to be a part of that team too. So it's pretty awesome thing they got going on up there, and
Well,
really just shout them out as well. They're awesome people.
all you got to do is get me that information. It's easy. Just go to you either by the phone because you know how to reach me,
Yes, ma'am.
or anyone else that's listening out there that's interested, go to the website patriotsinsidethewire.com. We have a form you can fill out there, and then we would love to have you on. We take in different stories. I'm not going to say we take every story, but I'm going to say that we have our motto we go by here. So we take care of each other. That's what we do. So please be sure to like, follow, subscribe, share on any platform you're on right now. If you're listening to or watching Patriots Inside the Wire, let's all grow together. Let's all help each other by doing that. And we love having you on here, Hank. I'm going to play us out here. And I'm going to give my last words as I am so glad to see you. I am so glad to see that you are at this other chapter that's coming. And I cannot wait to see you in person. James, for jumping on the show like that and playing us that beautiful song. Thank you. Thank you
That
to
was awesome.
David Willis. I got to give him a shout out. There's something that happened recently that he saw that's written. It's still out there on one of my pages. It's Fallen Heroes National Foundation that we are a part of. And David stepped up just like a veteran would. And I'm not saying another one wouldn't, but what I'm saying is took 1 second to look at that and went, so the threat against me in my life was like, wait a minute, we don't do this. So That's all still out there, and I'm bringing it up live right now so that everyone knows that, yep, I've seen it, and we've all seen it, and we've done everything we can possibly do, but somehow it just keeps coming back. But we'll take care of this by everybody out there, including you, Hank. We're going to watch each other's back. We're going to take care of each other.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep, do no harm, and create our own family going forward. Just make everything right. So thank you to
Absolutely.
David
Proud to
out
be a
there.
part of it.
Oh, I know, Hank. If you've seen this, you definitely would have been putting something there. It's still there. You can check it out. I guarantee you're going to be like, what? I can't say the word on air. You're going to be like, whoa. I cannot believe someone said that to her. It's awful to be a veteran too. And then losing my son, it's like, it was a blow that was pretty hard. I mean, I have been bothered by it since it happened. So, David and Doc is a singer too, and he's a veteran. Both of them went immediately and put nice things behind it, but tried to get to the point. But go take a look. You'll see where he's going right back at him. And I thought, man, hopefully I've done everything I can possibly do out there under community guidelines for that threat on my life to not happen. So we're putting that out there on the air right now to just let everybody know that, yes, we've seen it. We've got it reported, but I don't know what's happening because it still keeps happening, and we're doing our best. So now what we do is we put it out to the public right now, and we say, you know what? No, Tracy's here, and there's plenty of people that are watching to make sure that I stay here. So,
yep, absolutely.
And then after my faith, it's my family that I've got that we've created here. And Hank, you're part of that family. We've got a few, but I tell you what, I know you well, just like the other one. I already know what the heck you're going to be like. Whoa. Yeah, you'll have fun with that one. But prayers out there to everybody. Look, that's what works for me. It doesn't have to work for everybody, but that's what works for me. So on Patriots Inside the Wire, we thank you for joining us. We are going to play you out here and tell you to join us again. We have a show on Monday with Doc. He is playing at Hero Stock. And then we have a show on Wednesday, which is going to be all about Hero Stock, multiple artists, a lot of things going on tonight. Hank the Yank. Love having you. You are always welcome here. Can't wait to see you in person. Let's play this out. And this is our show, Patriots Inside the Wire.
Thank you for watching another episode of Patriots Inside the Wire, hosted by Gold Star Mom, Tracy Two-Step. Help us broaden our reach. Like, subscribe, and share.
All right, everybody out there, I'm going to say good night. Thank you for joining us. Tune in again. Monday is the Gold Star Moms. Wednesday, you have got Patriots Inside the Wire going on with the H2O. Wow. Okay. Okay, so I don't understand that message, but here's what I'm going to do, Hank. I'm going to end the show. You can stick behind the scenes with me, and I'm going to say goodnight to everybody out there on air. Stand by, Hank. Good night, everybody.
Yes, ma'am.
Patriots Inside the Wire, thank you so much. I see your messages there with Rebel Studio. Please give us a message online through our website.